Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Revenue's Rebellion, the place where we dive into epic stories of entrepreneurs who broke the mold. Today, you're in for a treat, literally. Scott Webster's story is nothing short of incredible. He turned a small, humble family orchard business into an empire that delivers over 1,500 gift baskets per day. How did he do it? And what can you learn from his journey? Well, buckle up because we're about to break it all down. By the end of this video, you'll learn how to scale your business fast, even when it feels like you're starting from scratch. The power of adaptability, how Scott turned loss into an opportunity. The one key move that helped him turn his family business into a multi-million-dollar empire. So, let's get into it. Scott's journey started in the most unlikely of places, his parents' garage. Yup, that's where he wrapped gift baskets in the early days while dreaming of a bigger future. His first taste of success came when his small operation caught the attention of Oprah Magazine, which skyrocketed his brand to national attention. But here's the kicker. Despite all the success, he merely lost it all during the 2008 economic crash. That's right, he lost over $1 million in a single year. Ouch, right? But Scott didn't let that setback break him. Instead, he used it as a springboard for massive growth. By simplifying his business processes, focusing on scaling the right way, and making some bold moves in the midst of crisis, Scott turned his company into a $30 million a year operation. Here's how he did it, step by step. When you're running a business, especially one that's growing fast, it's easy to get caught up in the excitement and try to do everything at once. But Scott knew the secret to sustainable growth wasn't in running faster or adding more tasks. It was in making every task easier and more efficient. This is where the power of process came into play. For Scott, the first step to scalability was developing a systematic approach to everything his business did. When he was managing the orchard, this meant optimizing the farming processes, standardizing planting techniques, streamlining harvest schedules, and ensuring that inventory control wasn't a headache. The goal was to ensure that everything, whether it was picking fruit or shipping gift baskets, was done the same way every time, ensuring consistency and quality. As his business grew and they started adding more employees, Scott knew that training had to be just as systematic. This is where the big win happened. By creating detailed training documents, video tutorials, and consistent onboarding experiences, Scott empowered his team to be highly efficient without requiring constant oversight. This gave him more time to focus on the bigger picture while ensuring that his business continued to function smoothly. Scott didn't stop with just making processes smoother. He automated the processes that could be automated. Whether it was setting up an automated email campaign for customers or investing in inventory management software that would update stock levels in real time, automation allowed his business to handle more volume without needing more resources. This was the type of smart scaling that saved both time and money. In the world of growing businesses, process automation isn't just a luxury, it's a necessity. It means you can focus on growth and innovation rather than constantly putting out fires or micromanaging. Scott's meticulous attention to process allowed him to confidently add new clients, increase his output, and eventually manage a far larger operation than he ever imagined, all while maintaining the high standards his customers loved. No business owner is immune to setbacks. Scott's biggest moment of loss came early when he faced a $1 million loss due to a failed business venture. But instead of seeing this as a reason to quit or retreat, Scott took it as a learning opportunity. In fact, that's where his entrepreneurial mindset truly kicked into gear. After the loss, Scott realized that resilience was the most important quality he could have as a business owner. The failure wasn't just a setback, it was an invitation to evolve. By acknowledging the pain of that failure and learning from it, he was able to redesign the structure of his business to make it even stronger. Scott's key realization was that failure doesn't have to be final. The loss forced him to ask himself tough questions. What could I do differently? How can I avoid these issues in the future? And what do I need to change about my approach? Those questions led to a transformation that ultimately propelled his business to new heights, leveraging loss as a springboard for future success. Scott took this lesson and applied it to his marketing strategy. Instead of relying solely on traditional advertising, which wasn't delivering the returns he wanted, he pivoted to a social media-first strategy that directly connected with consumers. He used platforms like Instagram and Facebook to show behind-the-scenes looks at his operations, interact with customers, and build a deeper relationship with his audience. The failure taught him that the connection with customers wasn't just transactional, it was emotional. By embracing a more personal approach, Scott turned a painful lesson into the foundation of his brand's success. Many entrepreneurs think that growth means working harder or increasing the number of things they're doing. But Scott understood that to truly scale, you have to scale smarter, not just harder. That means diversifying revenue streams and finding creative ways to make your business more robust without pushing yourself or your team to the brink. One of Scott's most strategic moves was diversifying his business model to build multiple income streams. Instead of relying on just selling fruit or gift baskets, he recognized the potential in tourism, corporate gifting, and even events. By tapping into new markets and offering complementary services, he made his business more resilient to downturns in any single area. For example, Scott developed seasonal offerings like holiday-specific baskets, premium gift boxes, and corporate gift partnerships. He didn't just sell fruit, he sold experiences. This gave his customers more reasons to buy, and it allowed Scott to tap into higher-margin products that further fueled growth. While diversifying was crucial, Scott also knew that expanding into multiple revenue streams meant more than just adding new products. He had to ensure that every new venture was sustainable and scalable. For Scott, this meant creating the infrastructure to support larger operations, such as investing in warehousing systems that allowed him to handle seasonal spikes in orders without adding a ton of labor. Instead of pushing his team harder, he focused on making sure each branch of his business had the right tools, people, and systems in place to succeed without overburdening anyone. This allowed Scott to expand his product offerings, distribution network, and client base, all while avoiding burnout and stress. One of the smartest ways Scott scaled without overworking himself was through strategic partnerships and delegation. He aligned with complementary businesses, like local wineries, luxury hotels, and other artisan food companies to co-create products and tap into existing customer bases. Instead of doing it all himself, he found businesses that could help him reach his target audience faster and more effectively. At the same time, Scott didn't hesitate to delegate important tasks that weren't his strengths. Whether it was hiring experts in logistics or bringing on a seasoned marketing team, Scott understood that you can't scale if you're trying to do everything alone. By delegating strategically, he freed up his time to focus on growth while empowering others to contribute their expertise. Embrace your roots. Scott's first big piece of advice? Stay true to your roots, literally. He built his empire off of the unique experience of tasting fresh fruit straight from the orchards. As an entrepreneur, never forget where you come from. You can always build on your foundation, but understanding the core of your business is key. Risk equals reward. When Scott was first starting out, he wasn't afraid to take risks. He bought property during a financial crisis when everyone else was selling. Bet on yourself. And don't be afraid to make bold moves when the time is right. Focus. As your business grows, it's easy to get distracted by opportunities that aren't aligned with your mission. Scott advises you have to focus on what works. Don't let shiny objects pull you off course. Master one thing and scale that. So here's what we learned today. Scott Webster's rise from wrapping fruit baskets in his parents' garage to running a $30 million business wasn't just about selling fruit. It was about seizing opportunity, scaling smart, and embracing the power of experience. In times of crisis, he found ways to grow. And in times of success, he focused on processes that could handle big growth. Now it's your turn. If you want to learn how to scale your business, even when it seems impossible, start by building processes, embrace the challenges, and be willing to take calculated risks. If you want more stories like this and actionable advice to help you build your empire, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Revenues Rebellion. Hit the bell so you never miss a story of an entrepreneur who broke through the noise. Take care, and we'll see you next time, where we'll dive into more lessons from entrepreneurs who changed the game.